Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for another day of modeling in Revit. So today, guess what we'll be doing? We're going to be modeling another lighting fixture in Revit. So the first thing you want to do is open a new project template, family template. So just go down for a lighting fixture, click on it in whatever language that you're using, that's perfect, and wait for it to load. So I just want to thank you guys so much. It's been great. The feedback on the videos has been amazing. Can't wait to do more. So what you want to do is click insert on your toolbar and find the picture that you're going to be modeling of the lamp. This is very important because you want to keep up with how the actual feature looks, and you want to just make sure that you can adjust whatever needs to be adjusted within the video itself, within Revit itself in real time. So once you have your picture, just paste it. Normally I paste it in my reference level just because, you know, that's my top view. Sometimes I want to look at it, but I also paste it in my front view because I normally draw in my front and back left views. It's just a little more accurate for me. So this time I was going to try and scale it for us just so we can sort of work with it. I know it's a bit difficult because this picture is actually realistic and, you know, it's not the most perfect, so I tried to scale it to a point where it looked very much similar to the size we're using. So just drag that over to your drawing space, your white space, and if it works for you, definitely use it. But yeah, that's what we've been doing on this end. I drew model lines for myself, so just type LI on your keyboard and that can give you lines that will be projected in all spaces, including your 3D space. So these lines I find really helpful. They're model lines, I mean, for cabinetry and stuff. I will show you how to use those a bit later. It saves so much time in documentation. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't the most perfect thing. I couldn't scale it to be exact, but you know, it is a work in progress. Interiors in Revit are constantly a work in progress. Hopefully there'll be a feature in the future soon to help us draw more accurately for interiors, especially because we don't have too many Revit models out there for us. So what you want to do is change your scale, because remember, the smaller the scale, the better the details that you're going to see, and ultimately the better the outcome of what you model. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Go baby, go baby, go baby, go. Go baby, go baby, go baby, go. Go baby, go baby.
So the thing of modeling in Revit, especially for interiors, is that most of the components don't just, you know, you need to play around with it a little bit and sort of gauge, like, you know, how would I be drawing something circular? Would I be using a revolve tool, or would I be using one of the other tools? Would I be using an extruding tool? You know, so these things are very important, and I think once you get started on playing around with it and not being too serious about it for yourself, you gain a lot more confidence in building more and knowing how to build certain things. Just know, like, you'll find yourself just sitting and thinking, you know, I know how to build this, and that's when you have built the confidence within yourself as well to continue building great things in Revit. So what I like to do, especially using the revolve tool, like you can see, you need to mirror what you draw. I think I've shown in the last video as well. You can go into your 3D space and it shows you exactly what you've drawn. So those are the model lines that make an L. You can get rid of them if you want, but for now I'll keep them. And yeah, we've drawn a sphere. Like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. You can change up the shape. I think I probably would have drawn it a bit bigger for this, but this is just honestly a video to show you guys that, you know, even if it's not the most perfect, most of these elements are handmade, and Revit can only do so much with handmade stuff and how that looks. So just keep going and don't stop, and build and add detail. The more detail it is, the better it'll look, and that's what we want at the end, isn't it?
Go baby, go.
So just get your lengths and breadths correct. As you can see, it's about 610 in height. So we don't really have the exact heights like we did with the previous videos. So you're gonna have to eyeball a lot of these components that we're drawing. Like I said, get the proportions correct, keep looking at your reference image, and just have fun. So the most important thing about using the revolve tool, there's the pop-up, you need to show your access line so Revit knows where to mirror the next revolve, because it is making it 360. So 360 or 180, but it needs to know where to start and end the next revolve. I love using the shader tool just so I get a feel of the geometry of the object. So feel free to do that. Change your scale. Nothing is permanent. Feel free in this space. It is your space.
Go baby go, go baby go, baby go, baby go, go baby go, baby go, baby go, go baby go, baby go, baby go,
Like I mentioned, don't be too hard on yourself about getting everything super perfect at the beginning. Just try and work with what you have and what you know, and a little bit of guidance from this video to get you going. So we're gonna draw the next component next, and this is sort of the metal framing of this lantern. I'm gonna call it a lantern, and that's what we're gonna draw right now. You might have probably found a different way to draw this, but this is the way that I find works the best. So we have to now go into the 3D space and zoom in and draw the profile. So I'm thinking, since it's a metallic kind of rod, I'm thinking maybe it's 2 mils thick. So Revit allows us to go to the smallest millimeter. That's how we love it, and that's why it's accurate, especially for interiors. Like I mentioned, every millimeter, every centimeter counts in these spaces. So just go ahead, and it won't let you draw in this space because you need to edit the profile, and you can only draw one shape that connects in your drawing space. So any pink lines, no overlapping lines. That's a major rule in Revit. It will not let you close the shape. So once that's done, tick the green cross, and there you have it. Your profile is almost done. Edit profile. Let's add a bit of finesse. I know no one's gonna see the inside of this rod, but at least you will know it's done and it's perfect, because when you take your sections, or the minute you want to render this, all of these little details will come together and it will all make sense, and all the effort you put into it will be shown. Great, so we've got our first profile. Let's go. And now we're gonna try and create the rim. As you can see on the reference image, it has got like this rimmed kind of structure cascading down to the bottom, and that's what we're gonna try and make. So what you want to do is press AR, which is your array tool. You could have, in this way, you use your array tool. So your array tool allows you to array. So we're using the circular array, and that array allows you to array in a circular motion. And we spaced it out sort of kind of like what the reference image is showing us. So yeah, like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. You're just learning. And this is what we have. I mean, the shape, like I mentioned, you can alter, but it's got more similarly the shapes that we want. And we spin around the model, and you can see that we're getting there. It's super close as well. And now we're gonna try work with the bottom part. So this one is a bit tricky, but you pretty much do the same thing. You create the same kind of profile, and you need to show Revit where to create it. Revit is very efficient at picking up any of the points or any of the elevations that you wanted to draw at. And yeah, if you can't find the plane that you want Revit to draw on, you can try a reference plane as well. I just find that it's easier to draw within your front view or left view when you're just starting as well. And then wherever you need it to be, I just copy it over. It just makes life a lot easier. And then you go into your 3D view and you click on the profile edit, and within those dotted lines where the crosses touch, that is exactly where you should be drawing your profile. And like I mentioned, remember to take the green cross every time you're moving on to the next phase of drawing in this family, because if you draw an overlapped pink lines, Revit will take that as a no and the family will not be drawn. So we have the first line, fantastic, and we're going to try and array that. Remember, use your array tool, click circular, and we need to place a center, unfortunately, for this one, because it is circular, so Revit needs to know from which center of the circle we're trying. So we are moving it right to the middle because we're going to try and mimic what we did at the top of the other circle. Once you've got that radius perfect, we're going to try 8 for now, but add as many as you need to add for the rest of the surface to be covered. Fantastic! It looks like we have something. Oh, and another thing, I think this is going to be really helpful. At the end, right click and select all similar in project and ungroup. This is very important if you want each component within your family to run independently. I know it's not the best solution for some people, but I find this the easiest to maneuver within my project and to edit each element without having constraints, because the minute you group something in Revit, you are creating constraints and parameters. So you're telling Revit that this is the only way this can be. So be careful of that as well. And as you can see, we have our base. It is 600. I think that is most important as well. As long as your dimensions are correct, your shape, like I said, you can always tweak and come back and work on. But yeah, the help has been great. I would love for you guys to comment down below and let me know how this is going. Let me know if you need me to do a different tutorial and something else in interiors. I can definitely do that. But looking forward to the journey with you guys. Great. Now we're gonna draw the in-betweeners. We're gonna draw any of the stuff that is in between, but before that we're gonna draw the rim at the bottom just to create a continuous feel in it. Like I said, the devil is in the detail with this one. And this is where our light will be shining through. So it's okay to offset it, I think about 2 mils off. I'm thinking this is a lantern, it's probably paper, but as you know, Revit only goes down to maybe 0.5, maybe a millimeter. So, the best shape that makes it look the most correct is great. As you know, this is a revolve tool, so we're gonna draw our axis line. Do not forget to do that. And we need to fix something, but that's fine. Let's see what is broken. We might need to go into 3D space to see this. That's okay. Let's check. Great, we have what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted. And then just delete all your guides. Not the reference plane lines, those can stay. Just delete all your model lines if you don't need them. And then now we're gonna use the sweep tool and we're going to sweep a rim around the bottom of our lantern. So this will create the detail that I was mentioning. It is great to include all of these features in it because like I said, it looks great in render, it looks great in sections, and you just feel good about yourself that you were able to do it.
baby, go, baby, go, baby, go, go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go, go, baby, go, baby, go.
Like I said, 2 moles works because it could be metallic. I'm not sure exactly what material they're using, but there we have it. The room is complete, and yeah, now we're gonna try to complete the rest of the details, and we're gonna try squeeze those in. I'm thinking we should use the extrusion tool. It's just quick and easy, and you know, after a long day of revolving and sweeping, it's good to use an extrusion tool. Yeah, make it about 30 mil thick. And at this point, since we've drawn on the lowest reference plane, you're gonna have to unconstrain and copy right to the top. And then sort of like I mentioned, eyeball it to see exactly what the reference image has. And if it looks similar, then it must be good enough. The bottom one might be a bit small. I think we've drawn our bottom lantern a bit far, but let's see if we can try and maybe make it longer, or we're gonna have to work that one out. It looks good to me. What do you guys think? So I'm gonna try something. I don't recommend you do this, but I'm gonna try. Don't try copy over your elements, because when you do that, you're gonna lose your void extrusions, and it's not the best case. But I'm gonna show you guys what not to do. Don't do that. Revit hates it, because once you've set a reference plane, Revit sort of likes to keep to it unless there is something that has changed or moved unexpectedly. So yeah, don't move it if you don't have to. As you can see, we've lost the bottom, so the extrusion is gone. Don't repeat that last step. Rather draw on the correct reference plane from the beginning, and then at the end in your project, you would be able to bring up the whole lantern up if that's something you need. If the elevation needs to probably start, since this is a ceiling light, the elevation probably have to start at, I don't know, 2 meters. So yeah, just be careful of that step. I think we got pretty close. I think we're pretty close to the original. You guys should let me know what you think at the bottom in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe. I will be making more of these videos for you guys. Let me know what you want me to make, and we will get to it. And now we're just creating the hanger that will hang from the ceiling for this lamp. And I think make it about 2 mils as well. And we're going to try and move the light source in this project. Remember, just unpin the light source reference plane and move it over to the correct space. So I'm going to try the middle space. I'm not entirely sure how this light is emitting light. Maybe it's from the middle, maybe it's from the bottom, maybe it's from both, but we're going to try both for now. Great! And this is sort of like a simulation of how the light will be glowing around the feature itself. So I love to let light glow around features. Just it gives it a sense of opulence, and you know, it's just great for interiors. And thank you guys so much. That's the end of the video. Let me know what you think about this lamp, and don't forget to save, don't forget to subscribe. Keep trying. Thank you all so much. Till the next one.